So I know in some of my other videos I said it's about healing your childhood, but it's about healing all the emotion and the energy from your childhood. So just because you do psychotherapy and just because you go see a psychologist, you have so much awareness on what happened in your childhood, doesn't mean you actually healed yet the energy and the emotion from your childhood. And emotional healing, it's a very broad category in itself. So kind of what I really focus on in terms of emotional healing. It isn't the kind of emotional healing where, okay, let's explore this piece of your childhood and we'll work on this emotional trigger, or we'll work on this emotional memory, and then we'll open up the wound, and then you're feeling like, ouch, right? And it's like you're feeling like it's bleeding and you're broken and it hurts a lot. I don't really do that per se. So I mean, it's good to know that. It begins with the awareness of that, because then you start seeing how it affects kind of your whole life and all your relationships that you're in. You start seeing, oh my gosh, this is what's happening to me. It's not emotional healing. I would call it more like an emotional surrender. So it's a continuous process. So it's not just about emotional healing where you kind of just looking at your childhood and your emotional wound and just like that. It's about like becoming a champion and swimming in it, like deciding that, okay, I know that it's this energy and I know that it's this emotion, and you just dive right into it. It's not something that you doggy paddle in here and there, even though you can doggy paddle 1,000 times. You become an Olympian of the emotional world. You become an Olympian of your humanness. That's what it takes. I'm not going to say that, oh, you just have to do a little bit of emotional healing. It is work, and I don't expect anyone to actually go through this. It has to be bad enough where you're like, okay, I tried everything and I want my health and my life back. I'm going to commit to this and I'm not going to like stray away. That's kind of that commitment level that you need when it comes to emotional healing. It's not a dabble, a doggy paddle. It's, I'm in pain, this sucks, and I'm kind of like suffering through it. It's like, no, I'm gonna just put my arms up and I'm just gonna dive right in there. I'm gonna dive right in there, and it could be like the darkest, swampiest thing ever. And you become friends with your own swamp. You become friends with this sea of emotion that you didn't even know that was there inside of you. And you think sometimes like it's never gonna end. I'm obviously saying this from experience. But then you just come out and it gets brighter and brighter and brighter. And then you feel so deeply connected like you never have before. And it's crazy because, you know, you literally start noticing your body transforming. Your stomach getting stronger, your body gets lighter, because as you're like doing this deep dive and this surrender and this release of emotions on a continuous basis, you literally feel like all this energy is sloughing from you. Like you get lighter and lighter and lighter and lighter. And that is what it takes. It's a release of all this dense energy. It is like a complete surrender. It's like a letting go. It is allowing. It is extremely profound. So emotional healing, that term or that phrase does not do justice to what needs to happen. It can be slow and painful, but then when you do surrender to yourself, you do completely give up and give in. Like you're completely opening yourself up to a new life and a transformation inside out. Along with that, it is important to do a cleanse. And this is common sense here too, is that when your body is suffering from an illness or you have some sort of physical ailment, it is very helpful for the body to eat really clean, to make those nourishing soups and stews, to keep warm, to have your teas, to rest, to do some light exercises. Like those things are completely required in this holistic approach and this road of self-love and self-care and like self-healing. But when your energies are so strong, like stronger than your physical, that's when like this emotional kind of surrender is required. If you're like me, who's extremely emotional and extremely, your energy is very strong, it really does take that kind of commitment. Now that I've went through this and I've healed my body, I don't really see any other way to live. It's completely my conviction throughout my whole body, because when you have tried everything and literally like so much of your body has changed and your identity has completely like whoosh, and then you've like slothed everything, you know, that's kind of like why I'm doing this and I'm helping people, is because it is my conviction. So I mean, and everyone's different, right, in a sense where maybe you're not like ready for this kind of surrender or this like an emotional release. It is beneficial for everybody, but it's not a path for everyone. You have to be at a certain place in your life where you're like, you know what, I want to change. And that's why there's that quote, like, if the pain of staying the same is greater than the pain of healing and change, that's when you do go this direction. That's when you do completely like start this journey of ascension, or this journey of transcendence. It has to get to that point. But if you're just watching my videos and you're kind of wondering, no, I'm gonna go this physical approach, like I don't get your theory at all, like I'm not here to convince anybody to go this route. It just, for you, it just has to, there has to be that inner knowing that, you know, I'm ready for this work because I'm sick of my life and I'm in a lot of pain, and there's nothing I can do now that is making it better. I've had this for years. It has to get to that point. And it had to get to that point for me too, because I would have not like faced myself at all had I not gotten to that point. So that's kind of my response to, Trace, I get your theory, or I did emotional healing, but it didn't really do anything for me. That is my response to that. And I hope that gives you a little bit more clarity as to the difference between, you know, emotional healing and that kind of like broad term and versus an emotional surrender. Thanks so much for watching. Bye.